All right, guys. So I wanted to go over some stretching and warming up techniques that we can do to help our flexibility for high kicks. So this first video is just going to be on a stretching and warming up routine. Then we'll show some stuff using the belts to stretch our legs and some drills to build strength and dexterity in the legs. All right, so I'm just gonna go through this real quick and I'll have it typed out in like the comments or something so you can look at it easier. The first part is just backward rolls. So I don't really have a set amount that I do of these. I usually do backward rolls for a minute, sometimes 2 minutes. That's how my back feels. So once I roll it out a couple times, I'm gonna roll back as far as I can. All right, looking to see if I can get my toes to the floor, maybe my shins. All right, put my knees together on my forehead. Once I do that for a little bit, I'll roll out my back a second time. I try to straighten my back every time I come up. And then one more time, I'll roll back as far as I can. And usually the second time I do this, my back's a little bit looser, and I'll look to kind of move my legs around, twisting my spine. All right. From there, we'll roll up. And we got our butterfly stretch. So I'm just pulling my feet in and using my elbows to push my legs down. Sometimes if I have one hip that's really tight compared to the other, I'll put a hand on the ground and just lightly kind of push that leg, and then make sure I do the same thing on the other side. All right, so we got our butterfly stretch. From here, after doing that for a couple seconds, I'm going to cross one leg over past my knee, and I'm gonna look to stretch out like the front of, or like the back of my thigh. So I'm going to wrap it. If my left leg is over, my right arm wraps like I'm trying to strangle my shin. I go wrist to wrist, and I pull that leg in, trying to keep posture, and you should feel it stretch in the front of your leg. Once I do that for a couple of seconds, I'll pick a direction, keep my back straight, and twist. Then we'll go to the other side. All right, once we do that, we'll switch legs. We're gonna be other leg over, my right leg's over, so my left arm wraps like I'm trying to choke the shin. Gable grip, pull in, stretch out the back of your thigh. Then we'll pick a direction again, straight back and twist. And then the other side. So you can hold these for as long as you want. I usually do at least 15 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. All right, so now once we did our butterfly stretch and our leg over the top and our side to side, we're gonna do some back rolls again. Let's warm up our spine, keep it loose, and then we're going to roll up to a squat. So when we do our squat, I'm trying to get my heels on the ground and then dropping my butt. All right, if I need to stay standing a little bit, I can. I want to sit to the floor, and I'm using my elbows here to kind of keep my knees pointed out. If you got time, sit here for like 3 minutes. Then we're gonna do, I call it the Kung Fu stretch. We're gonna stick one leg out, and I do 3 times each side. The first side I do it to, I try to focus on keeping this foot flat, and I'll keep that foot flat as well. And then once I loosen up there a little bit, I'll turn my toes high and look to settle in. All right. Then we'll switch sides. Once that feels good, I'll toe up and settle in. All right, so that's the first time going through both sides. Second time, so we move back to the other side. I do this part the same. Once I get here on the second time, I try to work my balance a little bit and reach for my toes. If I can reach with one hand, just do one. If you can do two, do two. Sometimes I'm gonna grab my arm and pull it, or I'll crawl down my arm. And I'm still trying to keep balance here, flat on my foot while I do the stretch. Then we'll switch sides again. Stretch one hand, 2 hands. You can try pulling your arm, crawl down your arm, whatever feels good. So now that's the second time. Third time now, we go back to the first side. This time I'm gonna stretch my back and work my balance some more. So I'm gonna put my armpit in front of my knee, palm up, wrap around my shin, Bring this arm behind my back. Connect fingertip to fingertip. Then we'll switch. Like I said, holding these for about 15, 20 seconds. There's always one side that's a little bit more difficult than the other. All right, so now, once we went side to side 3 times, we're just gonna do a split down the middle. If your hips are real tight, don't try to go real deep at first. This is one of those stretches that I'll do for a long time. I'll start real shallow and just slowly try to get deeper and deeper. All right, so now once you've done enough splits, you're gonna sit to your butt. I always try to stay on my split while I do it, but you can just sit normal and then put your legs back out. From here, we're gonna go 3 times to each side. So we'll go to our right side, 15, 20 seconds, left side, right side, left side, and we'll go back one more time to the right, back to the left one more time, holding each side, a couple seconds. Now we'll go down the center. So when I go down the middle, I'm crawling my fingers out, trying to touch my chest to the floor. The whole time I'm trying to keep these toes pointing high at the ceiling. All right, next one. All right, so now, once we've stretched out our hips and our legs, we're gonna roll to our stomach, arms out wide. We're gonna make scorpions. Everyone loves this one. Side to side, as slow or as fast as you want. Usually I do just like this normal scorpion side to side. And then once my lower back starts to feel looser, I'll move my arm up a little bit. I base flat on my foot. I get on my fingertips and I start pushing my knee back to twist my hips, and it stretches the inside of my like armpit and chest. Once we do our scorpions, we'll push ourselves up to cobra. Butt back on the heels. I like to make wide knees, those frog legs. Back to cobra. Turn side to side if you'd like. Then we're gonna come up to our toes, push our heels back, and walk out the back of our legs, stretching out the hamstrings. Especially for high kicks, we gotta have loose hamstrings, or we're gonna hurt ourselves, hurt our hips, hurt your actual hamstring. Gotta have loose hamstrings. So I'll take a lot of time on this one, just walking my feet side to side, maybe leaning side to side. You can even look to kind of point your heels, whatever feels good. All right, so now from our down dog position, we're gonna lift one leg up, point our knee to the sky, and open up our hip. Then after a couple seconds, we'll step to the outside of our hand, staying on my toes, and I'm just moving my hip around right here. Loosening it up, finding some movement. Now we're gonna twist our back. One hand stays down, my inside hand lifts, looking at the ceiling, and twisting my spine slowly. Switch hands, open the hip. My back foot can flatten on this one. Hands back down. I like to lift this leg right back up again. And then switch legs. We'll do the same thing on this side now. We'll lift for a couple seconds. We'll step, move the hip around, lift one arm up and twist. Lift the other arm up, open the hip. Then our hands will go back down. We'll lift that leg again, drop it back, and we're gonna do the same thing again on the other side. So back to our first side, doing the same thing, opening the hip, stepping, finding movement, twisting, opening, back down, lift the leg again, switch again, step, open, twist, other side, hands back down one more time, and we'll lift that leg back up. So you're gonna do that on both sides twice, so it'll be 4 times. Once you do that, you're gonna get back to your down dog one more time. Walking out the back of the legs again, getting whatever tension you still have in your hamstrings. And then I'm gonna walk my feet up to my hands. I like to take a second here, try to put my palms to the floor, keep my legs as straight as possible, and then we'll twist. So I point my toes one direction and lean over that front foot. Other leg. Taking your time in this position. I'm running through them quick, but 20 seconds, 15 seconds. Back to the center again. All right, from here now, we're gonna stand up and we're gonna warm up our upper body as well. So we're gonna do 15 rotations forward on each arm. As I'm rotating forward, I'm trying to stretch, like I'm trying to grab something. So I don't just wanna be swinging my arm, I wanna extend it, like I'm separating my shoulder. Big open circles. Once you do 15 seconds forward, do 50-second backwards. Or not 15 seconds, 15 rotations. Your arms should get tired during this. Once you do 15 backwards, you're gonna go forwards again, but you're gonna make a big figure 8. 15 of these. Once you do 15 of your figure 8s, you're gonna go forwards again, still stretching that arm, but going a little bit quicker, and backwards one more time for 15 reps. Once you do your right arm, go to your left, 15 forward, 15 backwards, going slow and really focusing on that stretch. 15 figure 8s. 15 forward rotations again, going quicker, and then 15 backwards rotations again, going a little bit quicker. All right. So once we do both arms individually going forward in figure 8s, we're just going to twist them or across them side to side. Opening up our chest. Last one is twisting our torso side to side. All right, that's it. That's one of my favorite kind of flows to do before I warm up for jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, anything.